So you're thinking about moving to Calgary, you've got a couple of communities that you're taking a look at, but the burning question you have is, how long am I going to sit in my car? How long am I going to be on my bike for? This video is going to be the one you want to watch. For years, Calgary has an okay reputation as a commuter city, but we've made some changes to rectify that. We've got the almost complete Stony Trail Ring Road, will be completed within the next year as I record this in 2023. That gives you a freeway around the city. We've got 400 kilometers of new cycle track and bike lanes throughout the city, on top of the 1,000 kilometers of bike paths already existing. And we've got a brand new under construction green line for the LRT C train that's going to service Southeast Calgary and give access to the LRT for so many more Calgarians. Calgary is becoming a commuter's dream. Stick with me in this video and I'm about to show you why. Okay, one of the most politically charged probably side of commuting is Calgary Transit, C-Train or the LRT or other ways you're going to hear it referred to. So we've got trains and buses. So the trains run with two lines. We've got the red line that starts behind me here at Somerset Station that travels north-south. This is about as far south as it goes, travels north through downtown and then curls to the northwest. It's going to finish at Tuscany Station. And then you have the blue line, starts at the very top of the west hill of the city, 69th Station, comes through that same patch of downtown. You can get off change stations, and then goes all the way up to the northeast to Saddletown Station. There is another line, the green line, that's under construction. Not all stations are approved yet, so it is a little bit of a political football, but it is going to go east from downtown, then curl to the south and finish in the southeast. Auburn Bay, Seaton, South Health Campus is going to all have stations there. So something to keep in mind if you're looking in the southeast area of the city. And then buses are fairly efficient. They all will work through usually a circle of your community and they'll finish at the train station that's closest to you. Buses usually show up on time. They're usually pretty good in terms of the people that are in there. They're not too crowded. So it's a good solution. The biggest issue with Calgary Transit, especially if you're used to driving cars, is you're going to add almost double your commute time. Something like 43 minutes on average from StatsCan versus 23 minutes for a driver. So if you've got a good podcast or you've got some work to do on your phone, that's awesome. You've got a little bit extra time. It does get to be a little bit of a drawback if you're doing it twice and you got to get home to family. The other major issue with Calgary Transit, we've really seen this pick up since COVID, is drug use, both at the stations and sometimes on the trains and buses themselves. It's not that big of a concern if you're riding during peak hours, rush hour, or during the middle of the day. It does start to become a bit of a safety concern if you're riding late at night. Just something to be aware of. There are helplines available for riders, but just something that safety-wise you may want to consider if you're riding transit. The cost to ride transit, you're going to be $3.60 for a one-way ticket as an adult. Kids ride free under 12, and then a bus pass for an adult is $112 a month. So it's a pretty good deal, especially if you're comparing that cost versus running or operating a motor vehicle. Seniors, they actually can get a yearly pass for $150. So if you're over 65, it's a really budget-conscious solution that Calgary Transit has in place. As well, some post-secondary institutions have a universal pass or a U-Pass that's built into tuition, so students get to ride for free as well. All in all, Calgary Transit is a pretty good solution. Most of the city is serviced. If you are in different spots that don't have the lines fully completed, you may not want to rely on it completely. So how do Calgarians commute? 86% of Calgarians use their car to commute to work, whether that's one driver or carpooling, and then 14% use other methods such as biking to work or using public transit. That number, that 14%, is growing every year, but let's focus on that 86% here to start. The main change in Calgary's transportation in the past couple of years has been the completion or near completion of the Ring Road. So the Ring Road has added quite a bit more exits and opportunities for different communities of the city and different pathways into downtown, which has made a number of commutes a lot quicker. Calgary's commute actually, on average, is just under 23 minutes, which ranks ahead of major cities like Toronto and Vancouver, who are up in the 40-minute range. For those living in Southwest Calgary, the Ring Road Trail has been an absolute godsend. The Ring Road now gives you access to Crowchild Trail, which as a major north-south connector, gives you access to the west side of downtown and is a very easy way to commute, knocking 10 or 15 minutes off of most Southwest Calgarians' commute to downtown. For Southeast Calgary, you're still going to use Deerfoot Trail or McLeod Trail, and you're going to access downtown on the south side. You're going to get a little bit longer commute because of that. Northeast Calgary is probably going to access Deerfoot Trail. You're going to use the Memorial flyover, or you're going to use another exit, either Center Street or 14th Street to access downtown from the north. And then Northwest Calgary will probably use Crowchild Trail south. You'll access via either Bow Trail or Memorial Drive to the northwest or west side of downtown. And then as the dad joke goes, Calgary has 2 seasons, winter and construction. Both of them are going to add time depending on what you run into, a fresh snowstorm or construction knocking off one lane. Probably going to add 5 or 10 minutes, maybe even a little bit more on some days to your commute. But for the most part, a Calgarian's commute is going to be in that 15, 20 minutes, maybe up to 30 minutes range, depending on your community. So let's talk about biking and walking in the city. Calgary actually has the largest network of bike pathways, not just in Canada, but in North America. It's going to explode as a transportation medium in the city with over 1,000 kilometers of pathways, 96 kilometers of trails, maintained trails, and almost 400 kilometers of cycle tracks and bike lanes, in-city bike lanes, on-road bike lanes. It is really becoming a primary way of transport for Calgarians. You can actually see if you get downtown, or you can commute to downtown without ever actually being on a road, but once you get downtown, you've got 3 or 4 north-south, 3 or 4 east-west. You can get to your designation without actually ever driving on a road or being exposed to traffic, which is amazing. If you're worried about the weather, I know I've complained about it, a few people have complained about it before. The cycle tracks actually get maintained before the roadways do, so you could be driving your car through 6 inches of snow. Meanwhile, people are driving the cycle tracks with full clear pavement. People ride their bikes year-round in Calgary, and it isn't an impediment to those who want to ride their bikes. So we've taken a look at the efficiency of using your car, using the train, riding your bike, different networks and pathways for both your bikes, your trains, etc. I've included a couple links below in the description. One, I've got a link for where the train goes, the different lines and what stations they stop at, where those are. I also got another link that gives you all of the cycle tracks and bike paths in the city. And then another one that I'm going to include that you can see every house that's sold in Calgary in real time, so the information comes to you as soon as that house sells. And if you have any questions or you're curious about a community that you're looking to move to and wondering what the commuter options are for you there, or maybe you're not working downtown and want a little bit more of a customized solution, my contact information is below. I'm happy to have a conversation with you. If you enjoyed this video or you have questions about Calgary Transit or commuting, leave a comment below. And if you want to see more Calgary real estate news, I do a weekly video. Hit subscribe right there. It'll show up, and I'd love to see you for the next video. Until later, bye-bye.